Good afternoon, Gina coming to you from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, where I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and happy Friday! It is Friday, I don't have a calendar in front of me, July 18th. We have Christmas in July today, so how exciting, but how sad all at the same time, right? Because we are halfway through summer, and where has the summer gone already? Like, my kids start school in I think like 6 weeks or so. So we're halfway through. We got like 5 months till Christmas here. How crazy is that? Less than that to get all of our card making done. So I guess we start in July with Christmas in July. So I didn't bring much to show you guys today because I had to bring a lot over today for today's class and for tomorrow's class. So I didn't bring anything else to show you guys. But when you guys get on, say hello. Tell me where you're coming from. Right now, if you're local, come on down. We're at Christine's, and she is having her used stamp sale. So I think they have it open till 3 or 4 o'clock today. So you have time to come on down. There's lots of goodies down there yet to be sold and found to a new home. So come and check it out. There is limited parking around here because we also have our the Fond du Lac County Fair is going on. So just be aware it may take a little bit to find a parking spot, but it wasn't too bad when I came. Tonight is probably when I'll be super busy, but yeah, that's what's going on. It's a beautiful day. They have the perfect day to be having a stamp sale. It's actually a cooler day, so they got a nice breeze going in the garage right now. So like I said, come check it out. And we're going to get stamping right away. So I see some of you popping on already. I see Hope is here. Woo woo! And Faylene and Mary. Welcome, ladies. I am so happy to have you here. So for our first card today, we brought in a little bit of an oldie. This was Christmas labels, I believe. Yep. So this was the stamp set. This actually came out last year for Christmas. So we're going to use this. And this is new paper. I forget what it's even called. We had a special event for demonstrators back in June called Creativity Now, and with Creativity Now we were able to pre-order a set that will be coming in the September catalog. So we were able to pre-order just a little bit of it. So this is where the DSP comes from, and these really pretty glittery paper. You guys will see it. I have 2 cards here using the glittery paper. It comes in like looks like Sea Secret, kind of a brighter misty moonlight slash, I don't know, almost kind of looks like blueberry too. And there is also like a silvery slash, depending on the light, it looks almost kind of like it has a soft seafoam hint to it, a little greenish hint to it. So really, really pretty paper. So I have that, and it comes with some doves that come with it, as I think it's doves. Not doves. I don't know. I don't know my birds. So anyways, let's get stamping. So our first card here is going to use, where's my samples here? Here they are. Here are my kits. Whew, I'm all confused already. So we've got Trisha is here. Hi Trisha, how are you? And Carmen and Susan, and it is a sweltering Florida, Penny says, and Holly is here. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday to all of you. So we have all of our bits and pieces here. This is a piece of cloud cover. And then we have a piece of Misty Moonlight. We have our white inside. So if you are getting kits for these are still available. You get all 6 cards for $32. So if you want kits, please reach out. So one piece is larger than the other. The larger piece is for your inside. The smaller piece is for your front. So you're going to adhere these 2 pieces together, and then we'll add our DSP. I have 3 glue bottles today that are all on the verge of being ready to go in the garbage. So we'll see how far I get with these glue bottles today and see if I can make it through class with all 3, or if I suddenly and without adhesive. We shall see. So anyone have any big plans? Good morning, Mary, or morning. It's afternoon. I'm used to stamping with you guys in the mornings, and it's afternoon. Mary must have made it back, mischievous Mary, as I call her. She came down to visit me on her way to Muskegon, Michigan. She was headed that way, and she popped a night on over by us, and she got to swim in the pool. Woo-hoo, Mary. And we had so much fun while she was here. She even took my kids to our lighthouse, and they climbed all the way to the top. They claim they've never been there. It's just they were really little when we took them there. And so she spent some time with them, and it was a good time. So this is how we've got this. Now you could change this up if you wanted to change your layers. You could do 2 layers like this and put your layer on the bottom, but I like it in the middle here. So I'm going to adhere my 2 bottom pieces first, and then I'll adhere my middle piece. And then, so I'm just kind of eyeballing how much space here. And I like to flip my card around. Mary had a good time while she was here, and then she was able, so she's all over the place, Miss Mary. I want to be like Mary someday. She's an adventurer. So she came by me, visited. She went out to Jeannie Parker's then in Muskegon, and they did a bunch of stuff for like a week, and then they made it back in time, and she brought Jeannie and Ramona back with her for our team meeting. And then she took them to Milwaukee, where they took the boat back to Michigan, and she headed home to the Dakotas. So kind of crazy, but it was so awesome to have all of them here. Where's that? Here's that piece of paper I'm looking for. So you could, if you didn't like this DSP, you could flip them around. I didn't even look at the other side of this DSP, but you could use different DSP. Flip it over. You have another choice on the opposite side. How many of you have maybe started making some progress in the Christmas department? I know it's super early to be thinking about that, but we all know as soon as we blink, it's here, and we're all like scrambling to finish up our cards for the holidays, right? Okay, so we're gonna bring in our stamp, and I'm using Sea Secret. With this. And these labels actually are the labels that coordinate with this stamp set. But if you didn't have, let's say, this stamp set to go in here, that's okay. You could still take any stamp and just stamp Christmas in there, or Merry, or Happy, or you can make this a happy birthday too, because it's kind of neutral. So if you have someone who has a winter birthday, this would be a great card for also. Okay, Holly, you haven't started yet. You're waiting for the holiday catalog. I know. So if you're a demonstrator, we get to peek at the catalog early. So, excuse me very much. We get to see the catalog. The catalog will go live for us demonstrators on the 30th, and then we'll get to pre-order starting in August. So that's really cool. But the catalog really doesn't go live until September. So that is a perk for being a demonstrator. Oh. And one thing I want to mention too while I'm on here, for those of you who are demonstrators on Christine's team, be on the lookout for an email. But Christine also sent an email out this past week. So we're going to take our ribbon here. This is the Sea Secret, and we're going to weave this just back and forth. She is really, really close to her million, and she is having $1 million party. in August here. So make sure you guys RSVP if you'll be able to make it. I hope some of you that don't live local will be able to get up here and travel for that, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think there's going to be a lot of happy tears going on and a lot of excitement. So mark your calendars for that. And because this is such a thick ribbon, I'm going to put another piece of tear tape over the top. Doris, hello, welcome. Hope you're welcome for using this DSP. It's such pretty DSP. And for those of you who like blue, like Miss Carissa, this is gorgeous paper. So I'm going to just take my ends of my ribbon and cut them on an angle. And actually, what I should have done before I put the ribbon down, I put the ribbon down originally onto the card first, and then I put these pretty glittery greenery pieces. I call them greenery pieces. They're blue, but they're greenery. Over the top of my ribbon. I just remembered that. But that's okay. We'll just tuck them right in. So this is going to go in the center of our card. Hard to tell where my center is. I'm sitting upstairs instead of downstairs in the hive. And so it's a little bit different, and I'm not as high in the chair as I would be downstairs. So there we go. And then I'm going to use glue dots to adhere these. They're very delicate, so be careful when you add your glue dots that you don't tear your glittery piece here. Mary is going to another craft retreat. This girl is on a roll, man. She's going to retreats and she's doing all sorts of stamping all over. Where is this retreat, Mary? So we're gonna put this one over here, and then we're gonna probably have to lift this up just a smidge, and we'll tuck the other one inside. But look at this pretty glimmery paper. It is so pretty. And the thing that I love is, I don't remember, years ago, our glimmer paper actually, you'd have glitter everywhere. No matter where you touched it. I remember one time, Tyler was, I think he was putting up shelves or something in Chris's workspace, which is where we are now, but it's been remodeled. And he pulled out a pack of glimmer paper, and there was glitter everywhere. He was not happy. Needless to say, Tyler does not have a love for glitter like the rest of us do, or at least me. So it's nice that they have this now where it does not, you don't leave glitter everywhere. So there we go. I'm just offsetting them a little bit. I'm gonna fold my label over like that. And then we can adhere this to our card base. Oh, you're only going 45 minutes away. That's a short one for you, Mary. Usually she goes states away. Okay, so here is this. And so for the most part, for this class, I used all of the new online exclusives that I had, and just pulled in a few extra sets here and there to help. Like I brought this label in, but I wanted to use this DSP here. So we have that. Now we have the inside of our card. What did I do on the inside of this one? When you do these a while ago, you forget what you did.
Totally can relate to that.
Right? So we brought in, or I should say I brought in, Jolly Holly. So this is a new stamp set, and it also has dies that coordinate. So what's really cool, and you'll see this in another card, we're going to use more of this set, but there's a really giant die that doesn't cut out completely, but it's a bunch of hollies, and there's an embossing folder that goes with it. And you'll see that in another card, but it's really cool. Okay, so we'll stamp this in Sea Secret. Like that. And then, clean up my mess a little bit.
You can reference 3 dies. And you have 3 dies. So it should go very fast.
We're going to bring in, there's a little flower in here. I thought that would work out perfect with the DSP. And then for those of you, as you know, we've had, Stampin' Up! Has had trouble with the cloud cover ink pad holding its color and things like that. So they have not made a cloud cover ink pad. Now there was some put out for demonstrators only. I'm sliding off the chair here. Gotta hold on, guys. They did make some for demonstrators, but for the most part, some people have had good luck with them. Some of them have not. The color was something that when it reacts with the foam does not causes a chemical reaction. So what I have done, it's actually Sea Secret. You are correct, Brandy. Thank you for correcting me. I like to call it Sea Secret. I don't know why, but it is Secret Sea. I'll confuse you guys, right? Hello, Deanne. So I made my own. So this was a blank ink spot. So they come in a pack of, I think, 5 or 6. And I just bought the cloud cover re-inker and I filled it up there, and now I have my own cloud cover ink pad, and now I can just stamp my little flower on the inside. So super cute and a super easy way to use up DSP, or I should say to show off our DSP. We have such pretty DSP that Stampin' Up! Makes, and it's really nice when we can show it off and put patterns together. So we've got that, and we've got some really pretty glimmery gems. And there we go. Our first card is complete. You are correct, Carmen. Christine is in the background here. So Carmen says hi. So here's card number 1.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. We got Annette up here also, so they're working on something. All right, card number 2 will be this card, and this set is called Bauble Blooms. So it comes with a small set of dies, and it comes with this stamp set. And I thought, we have this really pretty DSP that came out last year, and I wanted to use it because, oops, I'm losing pieces here because it's so pretty. Okay, so we have a piece of Pretty Peacock here. You're not able to see a lot of what I'm doing. Okay, guys, let me know. I'll try to make sure that I keep it up above. Is this better, Brandy? Let me know. Hello, Connie. I keep pushing it forward because I'm not as high as I usually am, so I apologize for that. So I have a piece of Cherry Cobbler. We have a piece of Basic Beige that I've embossed. We're going to layer those up. Okay. And then we have the, anybody else having problems seeing
No, you're fine.
the cards?
You can see what you see.
Because from my view, it looks like I'm in the camera
Like,
fine.
if you pull the phone, like I show people sometimes, I grab
Right.
the phone and I bring
Oh,
it in and
bring
I
down.
show people. Yeah. Okay. Then we have another.
Okay, so I'm just putting a little bit of glue
No, no, no.
and putting my little ornament tops on.
And 160, so another slip.
Hope I am so happy to spend your money for you. That's what happened downstairs. So when I showed up, you got Karen and Jay down there, and they're working on cleaning some stuff, and I was like, oh, what goodies do I need? Well, Karen was all about helping me over there. She has an ink pad holder and a blends holder down there for me. Oh, they were too funny. It's so much easier to spend somebody else's money than your own, right?
Maybe.
I do have it folded in half. I just probably don't have it down far enough. There we go. Oh, so, oops. Now I slid this. Good thing with liquid glue is that it is movable, so you have a little bit of pliability there. Okay, so those are on there. I can glue my mats on right away.
I wonder if we get away with a quarter sheet of paper.
Let's put this on. And I love using Pretty Peacock. It's a little bit different green color to use for the holidays than your traditional, let's say, garden green or old olive. So I really like using Peacock. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to pop up the top of my red one, and I'm going to fully pop up my Peacock one. And if you didn't want, let's say, all this gold on here, or you wanted less gold, you could flip one over. You could do it like this, or you could do it like this. So there's options too, so you could go either way with these. And I believe this DSP is still available to get, so if you don't have this DSP, get it, because it's gorgeous. I think this came out with Peaceful Evergreens last year. This was the set, I think this was the set that I did last year with the paper anyways, and Peaceful Evergreens for the Winter Escape. Or no, would have been the Fall Escape. So I'm just layering those like that. Then we're gonna bring in Merry Christmas. Now I have a question for you guys. Do you say Merry Christmas or do you say Happy Christmas? Because I oftentimes see that we have stamps that say both happy and Merry in them, and I guess I never say Happy Christmas. I always say Merry Christmas. And I think if I do this right, I can get both of these. This is what I'll do. I'm gonna line this up on a piece of paper. I'm not lining it up on my glass. Oops, you guys cannot see that. I'm sorry. There we go. So you want to do this on a piece of paper, but I'm going to line this up here like so, and I'm going to pick it up right with my stamp. Let's see. My Mary didn't go on there straight. But then if you were to do multiple of these, you could. I did this so much easier when I did this at home. You can get on screen, I'm telling you. The right side just wants to keep going up a little bit. All right. I should have just stamped it separately, but I wanted to show you that you can put two of them on together like this. So they're both on here, and then I should be able to, now I know I took that out of your view, but I just wanted to make sure I could line that up. So most of you are saying Merry Christmas. Oh, in Great Britain, it's Happy Christmas. I did not know that.
Australia is too.
Australia is too. Okay. I learn something new all the time. So we're going to put Merry Christmas here. And Deanne, you said Happy Holidays. That's usually how I do it. It's Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. So yeah, that's what I do too. Okay. So now we have our label. Oh, now they're making all sorts of noise in here. My goodness. I would get
You were getting away from the noise.
I would get in big trouble if I was making all this noise.
That's okay.
I'll remember. I'll remind her next time. She tells me I gotta be quiet. Who wants to be quiet, right? Okay. So we've got this really pretty gold ribbon. We're gonna just weave this back and forth. I tend to like weaving my ribbon. I don't know, you guys will see that on several of the cards. You could put a bow if you prefer a bow, but I like to weave my ribbon back and forth. Like so, snip off your ends. And I found on my original card that I made that this ribbon wanted to keep popping up, so I'm actually putting a piece over the top like that. It's optional, you don't have to do that. And then we're gonna pop up our label right here, as long as we don't put it on upside down, right? And actually, on the one side, I'm gonna pop it up twice, just so that when I put it on top of my ornament, they're level. So we've got Merry Christmas down there. And then I'm gonna use I don't know what I'm looking for. We're gonna use some liquid glue. This is going to go right up here. So this is also from that, I want to say it's Holly Jolly, but they call it Jolly Holly. So there. Deanne Dawn wants us to spend her money, Christine. She is looking for Heavenly Hollyhock stamps. So if anyone sees that when they're downstairs, let us
Tell her
know.
to fill out the form. So
Was there a form emailed or?
yep. So okay, step 1, Deanne, go to my website. Step 2 is click on my events calendar. Step 3 is go to July 18th, which is today's date. And it says at the end of the event description, it says, if you're looking for something in particular, please fill out this registration form. And it says click here. And that will pop open a Google registration form for you to put that in. And then Tammy looks at that. And if it's not at this sale, she'll look for it at the next sale. And then she'll look at it at the next sale. Okay? So, but if you keep, if everybody puts it into that one form, everything comes into one spot for us. So it was website, event, email, or not email, click here to add it to the form. Hopefully that helps, Dan, and then we'll look for it.
Okay, got that? Okay, so now last year too, these wonderful berries came out. So we're gonna put our berries here so that you're gonna get a set of 3. And then I sent along 2 extra lonely berries to put on your page also. Quick, easy card. I love that we get to showcase DSP like this. And then we're gonna stamp our inside, and we're gonna do something a little bit different. With this, we are going to stamp Joyous Wishes in Peacock. And I probably should have stamped that down a little bit lower because I'm going to put a bow on the top, maybe. We'll see if I left myself enough space. I might put it below. I've got enough, but I'm going to put this one below, and you guys can choose what you like best. That's actually kind of cute like that too. So in this card, I did it on top, and on this card, I did it below. Fun either way. I actually kind of like it below better. So there is our second card. We'll put our inside in. Now, if anyone here, I don't think anyone is watching locally, but if someone pops on that is local, I do have openings yet for tomorrow's in-person version of this. So if you're local and you want to attend tomorrow, I'll be here from 9 till noon. And we'll be stamping a little bit of Christmas. And I know some of Krista has a class too, so we're going to double duty it here in the Hive tomorrow. So there we go. There's card number 2. Okay, clean up my mess a little bit. Mary, you think you need a kit? I'm happy to send you a kit. See, I'm spending Mary's money too. I do, Doris, I do have kits available. If you guys want kits, the best thing to do is email me at ginalbulo@gmail.com and send me an email saying that you want this kit, and get me your information, and then I can email you back all the details as far as payment goes and stuff. Kits are $32 plus $6 for shipping. If you want me to hold them to August and ship them with Christine, we can reduce some of that shipping, but you'll have to let me know if that's what you would like. Or you guys can always find me on Facebook. That is where you guys need to find me, because that's where I am most of the time, is Facebook. Make sure you are following me over there, not just liking me. Make sure that it's coming through your feed. So either way. Okay. So our next kit, speaking of that Jolly Holly. So remember when I was talking about that really big holly? So there's an embossing folder that goes with this, and there's a really large die with a few extra dies. That actually cuts out a bunch. I shouldn't say it doesn't. It's a different type of die cutter. Say hello, ladies. It doesn't actually cut all of the hollies all the way through. It actually cuts them out partially, but they're fairly easy to cut out. So that's what I did, as I cut out a whole sheet, or I shouldn't say cut out. I die cut and embossed a whole sheet, and then I finished with my snips in there and cut out. So each one of you will have a different holly on your paper, so they're all going to look slightly different, but this really pretty joy comes in there, and then these two labels come in this set too. So really cool set. And we're going to do a book fold, because those are always fun to do. So we've got it folded in half, and then I believe this is scored at 5.5 and 4 1/4. So you're going to fold this in half like that, and then you're going to flip it over like so, and then you're going to put adhesive on the inside. So then you just have this square panel left. Okay. So, as we always do, try to use up your paper space, right? So I cut your rectangle and your joy right out of that. And we've got this really pretty DSP. So this was Season of Greenery or something like that. Came out last year. Put that there like so. And then we can add these to the front of our card. And then we have another small strip and another cherry cobbler strip. Like that. And then you're going to have two pieces of ribbon here. One is longer and one is shorter. So one is to wrap around your strip here, and one is to tie a knot around. Oops. Make sure I center it a little bit better. So it either just got really hot up here, or I'm having a hot
It
flash.
got really hot. It's because we have 3 hot bodies up here.
You're like, oh my goodness, all of a sudden I'm really hot.
So Gina, this is the most valuable thing in the room.
Oh, the air conditioner, look at
I have it.
that.
It's on 70, but you got to put it up warmer when you leave because it doesn't pay to like cool
Right,
the room. when
yeah,
we're
I
not
heat
here.
the room, okay.
So then this
So
piece-
hopefully I'll feel a
this
nice
and that
cool
way. Where's
breeze
that
shortly, and it'll cool me off, right? Oof. Yeah, all of a sudden I'm like, wow. But that happened last night, so yesterday. It was actually pretty cool here in Wisconsin. And so I opened the house up and had the windows open, but then sometime about last night, I don't know, like 7:30, both Bella and I are like, why is it so hot? And we were working on kits and stuff like that together, and we're like, oh, she's like, Mom, I'm getting so hot. And I go, I know. And well, obviously the cool breeze had stopped flowing through the house, and so we ended up closing everything up and putting the AC back on last night because it got too warm for us. Okay, so that strip goes down the center, and then all I do with this little strip right here is I'm going to take it and make a little knot in the middle. If my fingers work with me. It doesn't always happen. Anybody else have those issues? I have arthritis in my hands, but especially in my thumbs, and some days it's really hard to do bows and things like that. So I'll just cut these on an angle. Like so. And then we're gonna layer up our layers like this. I got off screen again on you guys, sorry. Like that. And then I'm gonna bring in my mini pop-ups. Now you could just glue the joy down, but why would I just want to glue? I want to pop up. So I'm gonna take a little strips of it and cut it to fit on my word here. I get this little one to go here and a longer one to go on my J. Now, don't forget, we also have dimensional sheets. And if you have this set at home, you could die cut this with the dimensional sheet and you wouldn't have to piece it like I would. So I'll add my joy. I'm going to put it slightly to the right because I'm going to put that holly berry in the middle. I just dropped my glue top. Okay. Just a glue top, no worries. Pop up our label. Okay, so put this in the center or so. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm actually going to cut this a little bit more. There was one here, and this is the one, so lucky me, I got it. The cut out just a little bit different. Okay, so take and pop this one up. Now remember, each one of these is going to look slightly different. Oh, and I didn't even bring in my Stella yet. What am I thinking, guys? So, oops. I don't think there's anything left in that one. Here we go. There's some shimmer and shine. So we're going to do that. And this. Like that. Okay. Then you're going to have a set of rhinestones. And what I'm doing with these rhinestones is I'm going to bring in my blend. Now you want to use your blends, not your Stampin' Write markers. And I am going to color my gems. Like so. And then I'll put them on. Now I felt some of these could use 3 and some of these could use 4. So it's up to you how many little berries you want to put on. Your card. And then there's little embossed berries on here already. So I'm just using that as my guide. For my berries, and I'm going to use all 4 because why not? There we go. They're desperately searching for something up here.
We're prepping for the Stamp-a-Stack.
Stamp-a-Stack. When's Stamp-a-Stack?
August 15th.
August 15th. Okay, guys, I'm not even ready for next week's class. I hate to tell you that.
You could show them if you wanted.
I can show them real quick.
There's 6 fun folds, and they get 2 of each one.
Okay, did you guys hear that? I hope you heard that. 6 fun folds
and
2 of each one. And you get pretty envelopes that you get to make.
The fun fold of this is the pocket. And we'll have a seed packet. Oh, I gotta buy seed packets. We're gonna have a seed packet for in the inside.
You can put a little packet of flowers in there.
Yep.
Really cute. So you got matching envelopes.
And then there's
And
a
then
pocket
this one
card,
has a
double
pocket.
Double pocket.
Okay. I love this set. I hate to tell you guys this, but y'all are gonna need this set too. So this is a double pocket like that.
Yeah. And then
So we're doing flowers and we're doing Christmas all in one today. Oh, look at that pretty orange.
it's for you. So this kind of flips up like that.
Oh, look at that, guys.
It's a wedding card, and there's
And then you
stampies
got
in
little stampies there. Oh.
and so then that just kind of flips under there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
walking
and
me
this is-
through all this. Look at this.
I don't know, a pointer card. I don't know.
I know, that's how I get when I make some of them though.
Yeah.
That's cool. The embossed
Embossed
folder
on
like
it
that.
covers up the triangles.
Yep.
It hides the pattern, and then This is one of those where it kind of, the edges popped up and then it like just nestles in there.
Oh,
like
so you
that.
got a little,
Easy. It's on a
little
toggle.
kind of like an easel.
Oh, we forgot about the pecan pie. There's a pecan pie.
See, aren't we glad we're showing the cards right now in case we forget?
There's a sacrificial lamb back there.
And look at, so this is, I always say, when you get a purple and orange card, it's a marriage made in heaven. It's Christine and I together. So whenever I can get purple and orange together, it makes us both happy. So stamp a stack, August 15th, right?
Yep, and then in person is on the 6th.
And in person is on the 6th, so that's right around the corner. So okay, back to Christmas stamping, you guys. We've got this, now we can stamp our inside. So, I'm gonna do wishing you and yours all the best.
All right, we're out of your hair.
Whew, thank goodness.
Sorry for the distractions and noise. If that's what happens in card making, right?
Right? And when you're borrowing spaces of your friends, yeah.
Yep. At least I'm not
We
gonna like
share together very well. Okay, so we're gonna bring in our cherry cobbler, stamp our sentiment, and then there's a little holly berry stamp set in here. We're gonna keep that open. Oops. There we go. And I'm gonna stamp this in the corner like that. I'm gonna bring my Wink of Stella in and we're gonna color that. I'm gonna take and dip it into my old olive. And I always just do an outer edge like this when I do that. And so we're coloring this in. And then I'm gonna make sure to wipe it off because I don't want to put green in my cherry cobbler. Those two would not make a pretty color together. And we're gonna color our berries. I almost thought I had a cherry cobbler finger. Did I lose two covers? I have two glues open, you guys. They'll both dry out before I use them. Can't decide which one to use. But I refuse to open a new one until I use these up. Okay. So there we go. There's our little bookend. Like I said, different hollies, but still the same card. You know, that shimmer from those berries. Okay, next card will be a surprise. No, just kidding. We'll see what I've got here. It's a surprise for me. I don't know which one is up next. Oh, another really pretty one. So this is the Peace on Earth stamp set. So that very first card that we did with the blue, this is the stamp set that coordinates with it. And then there's the dies that have these really pretty labels and the bird and then this little greenery accent piece that you can have. And it comes with this embossing folder also. I don't know if you guys can see that on screen, but it's really, really pretty. So it fills up your whole card. And there's actually, I should show you guys this piece because this has actually, the foliage, that's the word I was looking for, is actually on the outside, and then you have your label on the inside. So you could actually just stamp right in the center of this if you wanted to. Okay. So we have a piece of Misty Moonlight. And it's nice because we're using some blues, right? Versus all just, you know, sometimes we get in that funk of just using you know, your red and green, your traditional colors. So it's nice to use some blues as something a little bit different, right? So we're going to adhere these two together. So we have Cloud Cover and Secret Sea. I got it right this time. I cheated though, but I got it right. Anyone have any big plans for this weekend? Anything exciting for the summer yet? I have class tomorrow morning, and then actually Christine's nephew actually is graduating from Boy Scouts. So we're going down for that little graduation party. So you just see that little bit of hint there. Holly, blue is your favorite. So you're team Carissa then. Carissa loves blue. And I agree with you, Doris. I prefer non-traditional. Sometimes you'll see I'll do like a melon mambo and a lime green a card, or, you know, just something completely a little bit different. I love to use, let's see, like Azure Afternoon, melon mambo, you know, bright non-traditional colors. I think it's fun. And then we're going to put, we're gonna put our label on, so look at this. So this is part of, there's a 3-pack, like I said. The first card we had the more blue, and this one is the darker, moody, mysterious. And then, like I said, there's one other color in there, and it's just gorgeous. Okay, I think I'm getting close to being able to throw that one out. And this label nestles perfectly right inside of that. Then we have, look at this ribbon. It is shimmery. It's got a little, it's Misty Moonlight with a shimmer of silver in it. It's so pretty. Holly, you love the glitter paper. Me too. You're my kind of girl. I hope we have more glitter paper coming. I would love to see, speaking of glitter paper, I would love to see like some Halloween colors come out. Even though we have the in color one, but I would love to see, I don't know. I think we have the, is that, I don't even know if it's still available. I'd have to check. We had, what was it, Peach Pie and Shy Shamrock, and those colors were in. But I'd love to see like Gorgeous Grape and Pumpkin Pie and Melon Mambo. Okay, so once you've got your strip across the middle, I think we're getting pretty close. And I hear Chris in my head. You could probably get 20 more cards out of that. Keep pressing it in. So Mary, this folder is a new folder. It'll be coming out for demonstrators in August, the first week in August. For customers, it will be available in September. But if for demonstrators, we had Creativity Now in June, and so we were able to pre-order early Peace on Earth. So it's this stamp set. It comes with the dies, the embossing folder, the ribbon, there's a DSP, so it'll be available in the holiday catalog. I think my ribbon is a little off, but we're gonna leave it. And then it comes with a pack of these really pretty, I thought they were stars at first. I guess I didn't look very close, but they're actually, I don't know if you guys can see very well. They're little flowers. So we have, I think, from clear all the way to Secret Sea available in this big pack. Okay, so we're gonna stamp Peace on Earth. So this is another dove, right? Are these called doves? For some reason that doesn't sound right, but so these two are the two different birds that come with those dies. And we'll bring in Misty Moonlight. And I love big fonts. Like, this is a nice big font to fill in a label. So we've got that. I put some dimensionals. I keep grabbing, if I would put the sheet back when I'm done with it, I wouldn't have to grab another one, right? So this goes over the top, like so. And then, of course, we have to wink a Stella up our bird. Make sure there's no more pink on there. I don't know that. And then one other thing I did, this is completely optional. If you have a Sharpie or a black marker, I put a little eyeball on my bird, just like that. So I just took and I put a little dot on there, just so he has a little eyeball, okay? Otherwise, I felt like he looked just a little bit naked. Doves, okay, good. I'm glad I'm calling them the right thing. Okay, so we're gonna do that. It's gonna go in the corner, and then, like we did the previous card, I'm gonna tuck that ribbon underneath and make a little bit of a knot. Oh, goodness gracious, you're heading over to the album retreat, Hope. Good deal. Thank you for popping in, and I hope you have fun at that, getting that retreat in. You'll have to let me know how you liked it. Right now, Stampin' Up! Has the album retreat going on. And it was I think it was 24-page spread. I figured I had enough stuff to do. I didn't need to add that to my plate either. I have a hard enough time staying caught up on what I have. So I just angled my ends there. I'm going to put my little flowers on here. And so some of you too, in your kits, you may get a different shade of flowers, just so you are aware. Where did my glue dots go? Way in the back. They were hiding. I'm going to put a new glue dot on this. There we go. And then you could, of course, if you wanted to, take your Wink of Stella and go over the top of these floral pieces. Or you could sponge over the top of them. That would be really pretty too. You could take your cloud cover and use a brayer, or when you embossed it, you could have inked up the embossing folder and done that too. Hello, Anne, how are you? It's been a while since I've gotten to see you. We are making Christmas. We're thinking of Christmas already. I'm sure if we all popped into Hobby Lobby right now, or any other Michael's or any of the other craft stores, they would have their Christmas stuff out too. So there we go. So this is a peek at a new set that will be available to everyone come September. So isn't this pretty? Just simple and pretty, and I love having blues in there, like I said, versus, you know, traditional colors. So that is card number 4 we're on. All right, we're on a roll here. And let me clean up my mess just a little bit. Oh, we didn't do the inside of our card. We've got to do the inside, right? So we have Peace on Earth. And another nice thing about this stamp set too is it, not only is it a holiday stamp, but it's also got really nice sympathy too, which would make really pretty cards for that. So we have Peace on Earth, and I think I'm going to put Sending Love. The only thing is, I wish there was a little bird in this set that we could stamp. We can't have everything, right? So we'll do this. I probably put that over too far. I should have stamped my sending first. Oh, not bad. Okay, so we've got Sending Love, and I think I'm going to bring in that little flower. From Holly Jolly again, and use our cloud cover. I really like this little flower stamp, and I believe there's dies for it. Oh, I know, Anne, I agree with you. It's never too early to start your Christmas stuff. Because like I said, all of a sudden, Halloween comes, and it just seems, you know, you get busy with all the holiday stuff, whether, you know, it's getting ready for Thanksgiving or, you know, shopping, all of those things. And before you know it, our time to craft dwindles down really, really fast. And depending when you like to send your Christmas cards, I have a girlfriend. Every year I say I'm going to beat her, and it never happens. But I got really close last year. I sent my cards out on Thanksgiving last year, and she always, I always have hers the Friday after Thanksgiving. Never fails. She sent her cards even earlier last year. We had them before Thanksgiving. I was like, way to be an overachiever. She just laughs, because that's always my goal. Every time I see her mom, I'm like, I'm going to beat Amanda this year. And she's like, good luck with that. But she's one, she gets everything done. She's done shopping, she's done wrapping. She has it all done by Thanksgiving pretty much. So my goals are one day. I said I should start addressing them now. That's the part that way when the cards are made, I can just get labels on them and send them out. Okay, so this card is finished. Now we're on to a little bit more traditional. So we've got our Christmas tree here with our little peppermint patties on it. I'm so glad they kept these little peppermints. I love them. And I believe this folder retired, but I'm going to keep using it because I love it. What is this? Snowflake Sky? Snowfall Sky? But it has the snowflakes on it, and I just love it. So I'm using it. And we got a little bit different traditional. I brought in Granny Apple Green, which I love because I love that it's bright and bold. And this paper, the DSP is from, I believe it's called Take a Bow. So I'm going to take a strip of this. Now you could put it all the way to the edge. I like to leave a little bit of a border. So I'm going to leave just a very slight border on my left hand side, like that, and then we can adhere this to our red mat. I know, I always, Holly's saying that it's good that she can get it all done because she can enjoy the holidays. And every year, that's what I say, I want to be done, because I used to be, of course, before I had kids, and even when the kids were like babies and really little, I was ready by Thanksgiving. But you know, now it's been harder with them getting older. It's harder to, what do I get them? That is probably my biggest issue, is every year now I'm struggling to find things to get them as they're older, or, you know, you gotta keep it even between the kids. And we try to do every year, we try to get our kids like an experience. Like one year we took our kids to see Blue Man Group. One year we went to a Bucks basketball game. So we try to do something like that where it involves us just doing something as a family. And one of these years, I hope to take my kids to Trans-Siberia Orchestra. They usually come around either Milwaukee or Green Bay, and that is one of my goals, is to take my kids to that, because I think they would absolutely love it. Okay, so we've folded our card base. Oh, Doris, I agree with you. Sometimes we have stuff that retires, but it's so pretty. So why not keep using it? Oh, we got a little friendly jumping spider here. And that's what I thought. This paper is so pretty, and I had plenty of it. Our biggest problem is not using, using paper that we can't get anymore, and knowing that we might not be able to get any more of it. We're paper hoarders by nature here, and stamp hoarders, and all of those things. And so sometimes it's hard to use up when you can't go buy an extra one. But we were talking at our team meeting, and it's funny, like, so you use your paper at least by 2 packs right off the bat. So then you're at least using one set, and then you've got an extra spare one in case you need extra. So I folded my twine in half and placed it along my paper edge there. And then this can go on our card base. Okay, and so this was from the Peaceful Evergreens. I love these trees. They were so pretty, and there were so many things you could do with these. I said this was my presentation, or I should say my display board that I did last year for the Autumn Creative Escape. And then I'm going to bring it over here and Wink of Stella, this detailed tree here. Uh-oh, I think I should be worried. So my husband just texted me and he goes, check out my location. Last time he did that, he was sitting at a Starbucks. Or he wasn't sitting at the Starbucks, but the Starbucks was across the street from him. And so I wonder what fun place they sent him to. He probably had to travel somewhere to drop off a truck today. And okay, so there's our tree. Maybe he's gonna bring me home a surprise. One can hope. Okay, so I'm going to print my tree. I did like it completely on the bottom, even though it feels like I could have put a stump on it and made it look like my tree wasn't floating in the air, but I thought this worked well too. So we have a little label. There was also a set of labels that coordinated with the set, and they were called, let's see, we had Peaceful Evergreens, and it was Peaceful Season. So this one had all these wonderful sentiments and labels with it, and then this had like the trees and stuff with it. So, joy and love to you. Oop. I love this stamp set. And then we're going to bring in our real red. And stamp it on here. Actually, since I have the ink out, we will ink up our inside. Let's see. Hoping this season is bright and beautiful. Stamp that there. Oop, I must have got some ink on my finger. I'll have to use my little eraser. And then we're going to bring in the trees. Or one of the trees. I'll bring in the little tree. You could do the little forest, but there's a little tree here. And we're going to do a little granny apple trees. So I'm going to do full strength. And I'm only doing part of the tree, only like half of it. Then I'm going to bring it over and stamp another one a little bit lower, like that. So we have like a double tree kind of look to it. Tree in the background. I'm surprised my youngest is not blowing up my phone. He wanted to go to the fair with his girlfriend, and I said he couldn't go anywhere until he's taking driver's ed, the bookwork portion of it right now, and he's doing it online. I said he had to do that, and he had to do some chores around the house before he could go anywhere. So I'm surprised he isn't blowing up my phone and going, Mom, I'm all done. I'm gonna go to the fair. And it would have been easier had I just brought him with me, because it's right down the street from Chris, and he could have just walked there instead of me going home and coming back, but we'll see. Maybe the girlfriend won't be there anymore and he won't go tonight. He went last night with his buddies, and he was so excited because they got in to see I don't know what his name is. He's a country singer anyways, and he was so excited that they got to see this concert last night. So he was pretty stoked. So his very first concert, and his mom wasn't even with him. Can you believe that? Okay. So now that we have our label, we're gonna just put that over the center of our tree, a little bit lower. Like that. And then I've got a little bow here for you. Cute little double bow. I love this twine. I love twine in general, but I love it when it's got like a double color to it. Because it looks like the peppermints. And then I'm just gonna put that off to the side like that. And then add my cute little, I think my phone got frozen there for a second. Make sure you guys can still see me here. Okay, good deal. I was like, uh-oh, have I been recording this whole time and nothing is happening? That would be sad. So we're just gonna place these cute little peppermints on our tree. Like that. Adorable. Okay, so card number 5, done. And then I've got one more for you, which I'm really excited about because my family, my boys especially, love tractors, love farming, love to drive tractors. So we have Tractor and Company, which was an online exclusive release. And this is our card. Isn't it cute? I just love this card. So we're gonna make this guy. So I'm guessing I'm gonna have to make several of these because if I give one son a tractor card at Christmas, the other one's gonna be a little jealous. So I'm gonna be making lots of tractor cards, I think. Okay, so we have some Pool Party with Real Red. And all these tiny little pieces. There's our inside. So what we're gonna do, this is gonna go on the top half of your card. And then we have a piece of white that is embossed. So we got these cool little swirls here. And I'm actually, because I'm gonna be snowing, right? So I'm actually gonna take my non-juicy Wink of Stella, but there's still glitter going on here. I'm gonna put that on there. This feels a little bit crooked. There we go. And then this is gonna go on the bottom here. So just like that. And then this can go on your card base. Whoa. And don't poke your papers through. Like I just did. Getting crazy with this glue. Okay, so now time for a little bit of assembly. So we have 3 little Christmas trees. Here's the base of our tractor. Here is our little trailer. We've got a little sign here. Okay, so I'm going to put a little adhesive up on the top. Actually, you should put your little, I guess, what do you want to call these? Hubs? I don't know. I don't know my my parts very well, and I can hear my husband, if he were watching right now, he'd be really upset with me. He'd say, don't you ever listen to anything I say? And I would say, no. So now I can bring my tire down just a little bit more. I want to see more of that tire. And when you put the hub on, you can get your tire down just a little bit lower. Hello, Sandy. How are you? So here we go. We got our little hub. Got a little tractor tire on. I put my hub a little bit lower. There we go. So just like that, and then you have these little gray pieces that go in the center of your wheel. This is so cute. I just love it. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing with our little trailer wagon, whatever you want to call this. There's probably a technical term for it. Hanging in there, Sandy. Good to hear. But don't glue it down to your paper here. Okay, so we've got that. We'll add a little glue here and here. That's probably easier than the way I did it before for our tires. So tire 1 and tire 2. Oh my goodness, super cute. Okay, and then there's that little wheel. And that one. And we need the little steering wheel. So that goes right over the top like that. And then, that's the little pieces for this one. Here's our little seat. Okay. So now the rest is easy. This was kind of just a little bit putsy right here, just putting our tractor pieces together, but they're easy to put together. And then our tractor pretty much takes up our whole card here. Oh, I just love this little guy. I think he's so cute. And I'm calling it a he, I know. My husband would say it probably needs a girl name. They name all their cars and motorcycles. They're all after girls. He's only had one. He had a motorcycle one time and he called it Fred. Why? I have no clue when everything else is named a girl. Okay. Oops. The tire came off. I didn't give my glue enough time to set. Okay, and then you're gonna butt up your little wagon. Like that. And then I'm going to bring in just one of my trees here. Actually, wait, before I do that, we're going to add the little seat on. So it's this little L-shaped. And I'm just going to glue that down like that. Now we're going to bring in our old olive. And I am going to stamp or use my blending brush, go off on my paper, and I'm going to darken this tree a little bit just to add some color variation in our trees, and then it'll just help your tree just pop out a little bit more instead of having three all the same color. You could use your blending brush, you could use your sponge dauber, you could do your Wink Stella in your ink. All sorts of ways you can do that. Holly, your husband names all your cars too. Yep, they're a funny breed, I will say that. Okay, we're gonna bring in real red, or no, yeah, real red. We have real red, and in the tractor set is this cute little Season's Greetings. And that's what we're going to use on our little sign. So this little crumb cake piece here, and it just fits this little sentiment on here. Ta-da! Okay, so now I'm going to tuck in these two trees, and then we'll pop up that middle tree. See how that middle tree just kind of pops a little bit? So I like what that did there. I'm going to pop up my little Season's Greetings. And that's going to go on our truck, or wagon, I should say. It's not a truck, it's a tractor. Oh man, if my husband heard me now, I'd be in big trouble. I get in trouble all the time if we have a truck, just a regular, you know, truck. That's what my husband drives, and oh man, if I call his truck a car, I get in so much trouble. I'm like, whatever, it's a vehicle. And so we're going to put our little bow there. I'm going to cut my little tassel down a little bit. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? I feel like he's ready to go and sell some Christmas trees. How cute, right? Okay, then on the inside, I'm going to put Season's Greetings. Let's see, what does this one have? Oh, I love from our home to yours. Aw, thank you guys for the love. I appreciate that. I love seeing those little hearts going up over there. I don't know how many of you I think of tractors and stuff when it comes to the holidays. If you go to a tree farm or something like that, most often you will see a tractor driving around, and then there is the set of trees in here, and they're on there a little, you know, wonky. That's how they go on there in the wagon, right? But that's what we're gonna stamp on the inside. And you could, because this is a photopolymer stamp set, you could move them so they're more, I guess, more straight, but I'm okay. Well, we'll see what happens here. Maybe that's, if I stamp my trees over there, okay, that's what we'll do. So what I'm gonna do, this is the nice thing about well, maybe not. My tree will look weird on the bottom. Never mind, we're gonna keep it the way it is. Okay, thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Okay, so we stamped up our ink pad. Why is this? I think my ink pad's just really juicy. So I'm just gonna take, and I'm gonna go off of my paper just a little bit. And I'm just gonna get those two trees like that. So Pat, for demonstrators, we will actually get to see the catalog on the 30th. I don't know if you're a demonstrator or not. It'll be available online. Pre-order for demonstrators is August 5th, but it will go live to customers. I don't remember the exact date, but September. And I'm assuming usually it's on a Tuesday, so I think Tuesday is like the 2nd. So I'm guessing that's when it will go live. The holiday's a little early this year, so so I don't remember. I assume it's the 2nd, but I could be wrong on that, but September it does. So there we go. And then we're just going to add, I've got these iridescent pearls. I figured they kind of went well as far as kind of like the snowflakes here. They're not actual snowflakes, but little circles in the DSP. So I thought the pearls went well for that. So this is what I have for all of you. Let's see. We'll bring in all of our cards again that we made today. So kits are available. They will be available to order until next week, Wednesday. I'm not sure on the date of that. Today is the 18th. So maybe the 23rd, is it? Right? Here, let me check my dates. That's just crazy. Yeah, 23rd. So next week, Wednesday, you have to order kits, and then I will ship them out. I do have a bunch of kits cut already, but I will cut more kits if need be. Kits are $32 plus $6 for shipping. If you would like to save on some shipping and have me send it out with Christine in August, I think she's got like maybe the 10th slated or something, like the second week in August she has slated for shipping. I will hold your package and then get it sent with Christine, so I do that a lot of times. Let's see, what else do I have coming up this month? So I will be here, gosh, next week, Friday, I will be here with the, I always call this the wrong kit, so I want to look it up. So every month I do a scrapbook workshop class, and this month the scrapbook workshop class is not in the regular scrapbook items. It is one of the kits. So the kit is called I think Making Memories. It just went live in July. Oh, Make a Memory Scrapbook Kit. So what we do, instead of making the kit as its own, I make 6 alternative pages. So we're gonna make 6 alternative scrapbook layouts, and you'll get to make 5 cards. So you will need to have that kit. If you don't have it already, what I do, this is a product-based class. So this is a $70 order class. You either need to have the kit already, or if you don't have the kit, add that to your order plus whatever other supplies you would like, whether you need to stock up on adhesives or you need cardstock, stamps, whatever. And then I do that live and in person. So that's next weekend. We also have Morning Create coming up, and I might be here on Monday, now that I think about it. I don't have my calendar in front of me. So we have Morning Create, where we just create 3 beautiful cards, and then we have the monthly scrapbook page. That's the 30th. And then the 31st, I'm actually teaching a watercolor class up in Appleton. So if you are near the Fox Cities anywhere and want to drive there, I'm doing it at an art studio there. We're going to do 2 watercolor cards for that class. And then beginning of August, right away, I believe Monday is the 4th, I will be here for bingo. So lots going on in the next few weeks. And then, gosh, we'll be probably starting to prep for the fall escape. So like I said, lots of stuff going on, lots happening here in the Hive. So check back. Those of you that want to know what I'm doing specifically, make sure you're following my Facebook page. That is where I keep all my updates. I did put together, I shouldn't say I did, Bella did. She put together a list of all of my customers, because I'm not very good with this technology thing. And I'm going to try to work on sending emails out. So if anyone wants to be added to that email list and you've not ordered from me before, let me know. If you've ordered from me, and I'll put this in the email too, and you don't want to be on the list, please just let me know. I won't be offended. So look for that in your emails. I hope to get that out within the next week or so, but we'll see what's happening. And otherwise, I think that's what I've got for today. Like I said, I think the sale is still going on. You might have a few more minutes yet to check it out. So if you're local, come check out the sale. I think it's just today, so I won't comment anymore on that. So the used stamp sale is currently happening, or they might be cleaning it up, so you might be able to sneak in. There was lots of goodies down there. So in the meantime, though, I hope you all have a fabulous weekend, and I believe I'll see you guys on Monday. So until then, have a great weekend. Thanks, guys.